Hello and welcome to Juni Taisen, Zodiac War Chapter 3, the review. This is a weird chapter. It felt like it was going to be a good setup chapter, and then it kind of just spiraled into action towards the end. So, the whole chapter starts off with this tidbit from Chicken to Dog about Furusato, the song, and it honestly just feels like she's trying to start a conversation, which works because Dog, not viewing her as a threat, begins to just tell her things about their opponents, specifically about Ox and the Tatsumi brothers and Monkey, that he honestly probably shouldn't have been just giving away. After all, he keeps viewing her as not a problem, but that seems really stupid since he knows that obviously she's also a member of the Zodiac War. She's been chosen by her entire clan. And, of course that comes back to bite him later. Almost literally. He talks a little bit about Ox, though, who is this natural-born slayer that none of them have ever faced on the battlefield before because he's unstoppable. I feel like he's going to have some really interesting power. Maybe his is just that he can't be hurt, and that's why he's known as the natural-born slayer, and why he always walks off the battlefield. Or maybe it's just that he's, got a really quick charge or something. I don't know. I want the power to not be something basic like that, just because he's got horns. Then he talks a little bit about Monkey and how she's this pacifist and how her goal is most likely to stop the Zodiac War. And it's a little funny because Chicken immediately is like, do you think she can? And he's like, no, I don't think anybody can. It's impossible. But if it's her, she might. It's like, dog, that's not how that works. You just say, if it's her, she might. You don't say it's impossible and then if it's her, she might. I get that you're trying to point out this has been a long-standing tradition, but come on, man. Come on. From there, you get into Niwatori pointing out to Dotsuku that the rat fighter seems familiar, and Dotsuku's like, oh yeah, have I faced him on a battlefield before? Were we allies or were we enemies? It's like, okay, so maybe this guy's power is that everybody thinks they know him already or something like that? That'd be really cool. It would play a little bit on the necromanticist power that Rabbit has, where it's like, oh, I'm already your friend, you just don't know it yet. I don't know, we'll see. The rat fighter he's got a really interesting design. I like him. Past that, Chicken finds out that Boar's corpse has split off alone, and then her corpse unloads on them. Of course, they immediately get away, no problem. You don't really see them move, you just see them not there in the next panel, which is a little weird. Again, this chapter felt like it moved really quickly in the second half. Dog thinks it might be a trap, which is pretty smart, because it probably is a trap. And so he bites down on Chicken's arm without telling her what he's doing ahead of time. Which, I mean, again, these are trained fighters, mercenaries, and killers. You probably shouldn't do that without warning. He absolutely underestimated Chicken. But he bites down her arm and injects her with basically a drug to unlock her full potential. She even gets the whole, Dragon Ball Z aura for a moment, where it looks like Guru unlocked her full potential himself. But then she's like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. And he's like, yeah, It's one of the things I can do. And he even put in an anesthetic so it didn't hurt at all when he did it. Because again, he didn't think she was a threat. And so then Dotsuku is like, yeah, I'll send her out to go fight Boar's corpse, and that'll lead Rabbit to come out, and then I can get Rabbit with my fangs. And if she dies while it's happening, well, that's too bad. And while he's doing all this internal monologuing, Niwatori crushes his skull with her talons. He falls, of course, because he's dead. She basically is just like, oh man, I've been waiting for you to do that for so long. Reveals that she knew all about Dog already, which means that last chapter when he was talking about how nobody knows his abilities, it makes Dog seem stupid in a way that he wasn't that stupid before, and I really don't like that, to be honest, because he seemed like he was kind of a clever guy, and instead now he's just made mistake after mistake after mistake. It's actually kind of funny because it's exactly what happened with Boar. She seems super confident and seems super strong, and immediately made the worst mistake possible where she didn't pay attention to her surroundings. I want some of these people to actually be competent hitmen and assassins and mercenaries, and so far it looks like they're fine when they're not up against anyone else that might have a power. But as soon as they're up against somebody that has a power, it's like, well, they're worthless now. They're basically just another guy on the street. Because Dog sealed his own grave here. He dug it for himself. She decides, Niwatori does, that she's going to make him a statue, in honor of him basically giving her a boost up in this competition, giving her a chance to win. And she realizes she doesn't remember what his face looks like. And she's, as long as it's got fangs, it'll be fine. Men aren't about their faces anyway. It's like, I see what you, I see what you did there. I don't know. This chapter was really weird. And the biggest problem I have with the chapter is that it sets a trend now. Where chapter 1 is from Boar's perspective. Chapter 2, Boar dies. Second half of chapter 2 is from Dog's perspective. Second half of chapter 3, Dog dies. Now we're on Chicken's perspective. Does this mean that Chicken dies next chapter? Or has this all been a sham and we've been from Navi's view the entire time? Is he the POV character? Because if so, why aren't we seeing anything going on with the others? Why is he sticking with these people? Is it just because he's following one group at a time and this group is here and the next set of chapters will be on a different group after we find out what happens with Chicken and Rabbit? Is that the plan? Because if that's the plan, I actually feel like that's a bad plan. I feel like if it had been spread out a little better, it would have felt better, I guess. They're on a 12-hour time crunch, but they could have easily been telling multiple stories that were happening at the same time in different areas by just going, meanwhile, while this is going on, here's sheep, and here's ox, and here's horse. Or, hey, you guys wonder what dragon's been doing? Here's dragon. But instead, we've just got an undisclosed amount of time. The fight has happened. 3 characters are dead. And we're on chapter 3. It's just going too fast. It needs to slow down. And maybe that's what the novel's for. Maybe that's what the anime's for. I don't know. But it needs to slow down. It's going too fast. Way too fast. We didn't even really get to learn anything more about any of the characters this week. I guess the chicken reveal, Niwatori's reveal of knowing about Dog and about Dotsuku already was supposed to be a big reveal, but I expected when we first met her that she knew a lot more than she was letting on because she's all about information with her birds. I don't know, it feels really weird for these assassins to be so dumb. Like, Boar's at least makes a little bit of sense to me. She didn't check her surroundings. She got caught from behind. That makes sense. What is Dog doing? Like, Dog, come on, man. I mean, you're dead now. You're not doing anything. But come on. And at least by Niwatori killing you, she made sure that Rabbit couldn't get a hold of you. But, man, you should have known better. You should have at least considered the possibility that she might be trying to betray you. Because you mentioned last chapter if she tries to betray you, you kill her. But you didn't mention, like, you're not sitting there going, what if she betrays me now? The whole reason people didn't team up at the start was because what if they betray me? So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If Chicken dies next chapter, or if we get another character dead next chapter, then the deal will be sealed. We'll have 12 chapters and maybe 13 to have a finish up, but it'll be over. But I'm hoping that's not how it happens. I'm hoping we get a little bit more movement out of it. I mean, Battle Royale may have had a bigger cast, but the novelized version of it also went a lot longer because you didn't have to kill a character every chapter. And the manga of it, you don't kill a character every chapter. So, I don't know. I just prefer my character development, and right now I'm not getting any. And maybe this is not a series where you get any character development. Maybe this is a series where, they fight. And people die real quick. And surprise betrayals! But, just a little bit. Just a little bit of character development. Just a little bit. We'll be back next week with another Juni Taisen chapter review. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that Zodiac War has to offer.